Everybody, it's Lo and welcome back to my channel. This video I'm going to talk about slow fashion worth investing in. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching. I've talked a lot about slow fashion and fast fashion and the negative aspects of fast fashion here on my channel. I was actually talking to my coworker slash work wife yesterday, telling her how I want to film a video today, but I'm honestly just kind of stumped, and she gave me the idea of 5 slow fashion things that I've invested in that are worth it. She's like, I would watch that, I would love to see that. So this is in honor of her. But as I was putting it together and I was looking at my closet of like, what are my like investment pieces, those 5 things that I would really talk about. And I honestly can't say that I have like expensive investment items of like slow fashion brands. There are some brands like Jenny Kane and Suzanne that are that higher price point of slow fashion brands, and I'll get into really quickly like what constitutes something as slow fashion versus fast fashion. But I don't have anything from those brands because they are at such a higher price point to where if I did have an $800 Jenny Kane coat, I'd be able to say like, boom, this is that investment piece. But instead I do still actually have just like an old coat from Topshop. I've probably had it for 8 years. It has horrible pilling, but I also don't want to get rid of it and just replace it with something similar. Another $150, $200 Topshop or Zara or Aritzia coat that in a few years is going to start pilling the same. So while this coat I have looks horrible, it's still getting the job done. But there are these slow fashion brands out there that do just cost a bit more, and while I would love to have them, I'm also just unable to spend that price because a lot of these brands, especially in comparison to fast fashion, things like Shein and Halara and all of these other brands where you can get these things super cheap, but then they do fall apart. So yes, a lot of these things, even that I'm going to talk about, these brands are a bit more expensive, but are still in like that mid price range that they'll also last a long time. And if you look at cost per wear, they'll last so long that you'll wear them so much that you'll be able to like essentially get that cost per wear down. But again, there are these more pricey slow fashion brands that I think are beautiful and stunning and timeless, but are a bit out of my budget already. So while I would say, yeah, they're great investments, I can't like speak from experience. So instead of going into like 5 specific products that I have as she kind of proposed, I'm gonna more so focus on different brands that I have and I love and make up a bulk of my closet. Of course, I do have some things from older brands and even some like brands that are considered fast fashion, but I still love the pieces. I take care of them, so I still have them, and I've had them for so long, it's not like I'm getting rid of them every single season. So I do still have a little bit of that in my closet, a lot of just like basics and things like that. But as I am shopping, I'm really looking at these 3-4 so brands that I think are amazing and I think are worth the investment just in terms of quality, longevity, and again, they are going to be a little bit more expensive than buying something very similar from Target or Forever 21 or Zara or wherever, but at the same time will last much longer. I just want to throw off the top here that as I was kind of like looking into like what other brands are considered slow fashion, I did see Reformation, which I'm not gonna lie, their stuff is really cute. I have a lot of dresses. I have like 3 or so Reformation dresses that I rotate for weddings that I go to, but I haven't had a great experience with them lately. Like one dress I bought, it was like shaped so weird, I was gonna fall out of it, and then I got another one at like a Reformation store to wear, and I literally bent over and it ripped down the butt. Very similar thing happened to a friend of mine. She was at a wedding on the dance floor, ripped down the butt. And another shirt that I got, like one sleeve, like it just wasn't right. So I've been seeing Reformation come up as a slow fashion brand, but at the same time I do feel like their quality's gone down, especially for the price that you're paying. They do come out with new clothes all the time to where it's becoming a bit more fast fashion. They're still using some textiles that are considered like just like a lot of polyester and things like that, to where I wouldn't constitute that as slow fashion. And maybe, you know, years ago before I had like the funds to like become a Reformation person, maybe they were, but I definitely think over the last year, their quality has gone down and their prices have gone up, and they pump out new clothes all the time. So while I do have a few Reformation pieces, I would not call them slow fashion. I just wanted to get that out of there because I feel like it comes up so much that they're like a slow fashion brand. But if anybody sees this, I just like want to give my personal opinion of how I think they're no longer a slow fashion brand. But really quickly, before going into the brands that I do love, I just want to go through like a quick little list of like what constitutes something as slow fashion. Obviously fast fashion, I've talked about it a lot here on my channel, but like they're pumping out clothes all the time. These clothes are really cheap, they go with the trends, they're not made to last. They'll either like fall apart in like after a few wears, or you're just gonna get rid of them, and then in your head you're like, well, it was only 12 bucks, so I can get rid of it, whatever, and like not realize that these things do last forever. The quality is just not there. You won't want to wear it because it'll start to look bad, on top of being like out of season at that point. Usually the workers aren't in great working conditions, just like poor labor conditions, to where like then you're supporting that, especially with brands like Shein, and I've brought this up a lot. I'll get heated on it if I talk about it too much, but how like their CEO is stupid filthy rich, yet their workers are in like horrible working conditions, and it's just kind of like they pump out so much and they make it so cheap to where you continue to like buy, to where at the end of the day you're spending so much more money on all these like little things that aren't gonna last, versus investing it in like a few things that will last, especially like basics. So slow fashion is definitely not just like going with the trends. There are still like some trendy pieces you can tie in and out. If you really want to find something that's like in trend or like goes with something, finding it at like a flea market or Depop, Poshmark. I have a lot of stuff on Depop and Poshmark that I'm selling. Searching elsewhere and searching secondhand, or I've done a clothing swap with some friends and found a few like fun pieces that I wouldn't necessarily buy myself, but because like we've swapped them out, or I just like took them from a friend. Those trendy pieces, like I'm not buying it from the brand, like feeding into them. I'm like saving it and giving it a second life. So with trendy pieces, or like wanting to find something a bit more unique, definitely going that route versus spending $12 on like this trendy little piece because you saw it on someone. Overall, investing in more timeless pieces that are of good quality, of better quality materials like organic cotton, linen, hemp, modal, tencel, different things like that, to where it's from cotton, all natural fibers, cottons, bamboos, silks, versus polyesters, elastanes. And like, yeah, some things still need elastane, like a workout attire still needs elastane, underwear still needs it. So there are certain things where like you can't get away from synthetic materials entirely, but for the bulk of your clothes it is possible to do so, and these things will also tend to last longer, especially if taken care of. So one big factor in terms of what can make something a slow fashion brand is the materials that they use, the fact that they're not pumping out new clothes all the time just to like stay on top of the trends. Even if they are coming out with new things, it's stuff that will last for seasons. And especially if you're like me, you're at my age where like you're not growing much more, like it's definitely harder in like middle school, high school, when kids are growing and you do have to replace clothes at like a more frequent pace because you're just like not, maybe you're taller or whatever. But like once you kind of like hit the size that you're at, like these clothes should be able to last you a pretty long time. Typically these materials are locally sourced, locally produced. A lot of these brands are also produced in the US, so you know they're also following proper like labor and worker rights, which is very important. And again, timeless. I feel like just like the main qualities of it are like timeless, high quality, so that they do last instead of falling apart and needing to replace them right away, which again goes into why these things are a bit more expensive, is because they are higher quality materials. So you have to pay for that higher quality material, and because they are usually paying their workers actual living wages, you have to pay, as a consumer, you have to pay more so that way the brand can pay their workers more. So you are paying a bit more, but it's because you're getting more out of it. So that's kind of what like slow fashion encompasses. Another one of the brands I'm going to mention is also made to order for the most part. It's called Aloha's. It's a shoe brand based out of Spain. A lot of it's actually made in Spain from really high quality goods. They do some vegan leather products, but a lot of their stuff is leather. They do also have clothing, but I mainly know them for shoes. I have 2 pairs of shoes from them. These like silver Cinderella flats that I think are just so cute, and these pink heels, and these are like my fun pieces. And again, they're high quality and they're made to order, so they're not just overproducing and mass producing a bunch of shoes and a bunch of sizes, a bunch of colors, and then if people don't buy them, then they're just sitting there and they have to mark them down, all of a sudden just trying to get them out. So instead they do made to order, so you order it and then they'll like add that to a production batch, and when they hit so many orders, they go into production to get those shoes. So it might take you a little bit longer to get these shoes, but at the same time, they're not overproducing. They're producing only what's ordered and paid for and what people are requesting. Another brand I love, which is perfect for basics, is Made the Label. So I'm actually wearing a linen button up right now. I feel so weird. I forgot to put on a necklace, so I kind of feel like naked, but I'm wearing one of their linen button ups. I discovered Made the Label in 2020, right when the pandemic started, and I was like looking for like cozy, comfy clothes since we were all at home. Made the Label popped up on my feed, and I got like a little like green lounge set. I got a bunch of PJs from them. I've since replaced all my PJs because my other ones were just kind of like old ratty t-shirts, so I've donated those. I put them in a take back bag, that way they can be recycled with other textile recycling. So now I just have like Made the Label PJs, which are so cute, comfy little sets, so I just like feel put together, like very adult when I go to bed. But I have a lot of their just like comfy pants. My pullovers are from them, my zip ups, and these are organic cotton pieces made in LA for the most part. It's an LA brand, a super small business. They are really focused on good quality products, and organic cotton, linen, hemp, whatever they're using is of the highest quality, and it's super important to them, and they're very focused on that and like getting that out to their customers as well, and using that as a way of educating their customers as well. And it's important just like how much they care. All of their colors and like the dyes of their clothes are very natural, so I just think it's good because these are things that you're putting onto your body. And that's another thing with fast fashion and these like polyester synthetic clothing, is that your skin absorbs these, and it just contributes to the amount of microplastics that we have in our system. So if you are concerned about your health, which I am, especially after just some health issues over the past year, and wanting to make sure that I'm not putting more endocrine disrupting, like cancer causing materials on my body, it's super important to look for these natural materials. And that's all Mate is focused on. Amazing basics, just from t-shirts, tanks, pullovers, amazing linen pieces as well. Again, I have this, I have it in cream. I just think their pieces are fantastic. So I just think Made the Label is a fantastic brand. I actually, and I'm just gonna like full disclosure here, they have an affiliate program, and ever since I found them back in 2020, when I was like definitely more active with this, I like kept applying because I was wearing it. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna talk about it, like I might as well like get a little kickback from it. And I never got accepted. And then a couple weeks ago, I was like, you know what? It like popped up. So I was like, I'll just apply again. So I did get accepted to their affiliate program. So the link that I have down below for Mate is a commission link. I wear them and like represent them and talk about them all the time to people, because I truly believe that they stand by what they mean and they stand by what they do. They're not greenwashing. And I think like that's really important too when it comes to these brands that some position themselves as slow fashion, but they're not. And the fact that they are so true to these core values, I think is really important. So I'm really grateful that now I can share this with people and like get a little out of it too. So I personally absolutely love Mate. Another brand that I absolutely love, and today's Saturday, tomorrow I'm doing like this Galentine's thing with them at their store, but it's Whimsy and Row. They're a boutique that is based out of the Mar Vista neighborhood in Los Angeles. I would see them on my feed, and then when I realized that the last place he was living at was across the way, I was like, I walked over there one day, like made my first purchase. I don't even remember what my first purchase was, but I love their stuff. They come out with just very small focused collections that are made again of natural organic materials, things that are recycled too. Like I have this skirt and top set. There was only a few of them because it was made of dead stock fabric. So it was fabric that was just gonna be scraps, and they turned into this skirt and top. That was actually my first purchase. I got it before we went to Cabo, and I just like at the time did not have work. So it was definitely kind of like, should I have spent the money on that? I don't know, but I absolutely love it. I wore it in Italy. It's like one of my favorite sets, and like a lot of their stuff is meant to be very mix and match. Another brand that really stands by their values, woman owned, locally produced, locally sourced. It's just amazing. So again, a little bit on the higher price point, but I think is so worth it because these are timeless pieces and they're classics. And I do have a few like fun pieces from them, but they're going to last forever. Not something that I'm gonna get over and like be like, oh, that's not my style anymore, because I'm like switching styles and like going with trends and seasons and seasonality. But instead I'm buying these pieces that are investment pieces, and I absolutely adore. Actually, the pants I'm wearing right now are from them, also linen. I also have those in white. I'm a big linen girl. If I could just like live on like, not a farm, because I still want to be close to the beach, but just like some land and have like my little veggie garden and like a little sauna and just like walk around and like frolic and like be in linen 24/7, I would. But your girl's gotta work, unfortunately. But that's the dream. Just frolicking in linen. That's all I want to do. I think they're amazing. It's timeless, but like definitely a bit of fun, and like they lean into the trends just enough to where you feel like you're matching the trends, but not so much to where, you know, at 6 months to a year from now, you're gonna be over these clothes and be like, why did I buy this? Let me get rid of it. I think they're perfect in that sense. Like Mate the Label is very much like basics. You know, here's your shirts, your button-ups, your cozy clothes, your pants, like different things like that that are just very high quality basics. Whimsy and Row takes basics and like elevates them. Like you can get beautiful dresses, skirts, tops. It's very much finding your style and leaning into trendier pieces without being fast fashion. These aren't like super trendy to where it's gonna be done in a season. Like you're still gonna want to wear this over and over and over again. And that's how I feel about a lot of these pieces that I bought in 2020, 2021, is that I continue to wear them and love them, and they're still such high quality that I think it's a fantastic brand. Another brand I loved, and I actually worked there 2 years ago for like 6 or so months, just while I was between jobs and wanted to get out of the house because I felt like I was stuck in here for so long, but is Everlane. And Everlane I actually feel like is right between Mate and Whimsy and Row, because they have great basics. Like I have long sleeves from them that I absolutely love. Their jeans are fantastic, though I put on a little bit of weight over like the last 4 months, so they're a little snug on me, but I'm getting that back. Gotten a little chunky in the waist, in the hip area, but I absolutely love these jeans, and I'm like, I will be back in these jeans soon once I'm able to work out again. But their jeans are fantastic, long sleeves are fantastic, also great like basic t-shirts. Some of their products aren't, in terms of like their t-shirts and long sleeves do have a bit of elastane in them to give them like a bit of stretch, unlike Mate, which is strictly organic cotton, like 100% cotton shirts. So these, you can find a lot of things with stretch, but what I really love about Everlane is kind of like their workwear. I think Everlane is perfect to find this like timeless, slow, classic workwear. They do have some new pieces every season, but they're not pumping out pieces like crazy like a fast fashion brand. They are ethically produced, ethically sourced, so you're also paying for that as well. And these pieces, though they do come out with new stuff every season, is still stuff that will last. It's a lot of like very basic pieces that are still timeless, even though they do like kind of touch on the trends ever so slightly. And a lot of their jeans too, you can get in like different colors and different washes and stuff, to where that I feel like jeans and jean cuts are kind of the thing that definitely goes with trends. So like once you find some jeans that you love, I think even if that like trend is over, if you feel comfy and confident in them, and they're high quality jeans, a lot of them are also 100% organic cotton for those jeans, I think that's worth the investment too. I have a lot of their way high drape pants, which I think are like perfect slacks, even for like a date night. Pair like those with one of my Whimsy and Row tops is so stinking cute. Absolutely love it. Some tank tops that I love to layer with like a linen shirt like this. They also have linen, different button ups, and what I love the most are their blazers. I'm a huge blazer girl, so you give me like a basic t-shirt and I pop on a blazer, like that is who I am inside. There's the linen Lauren that wants to just like frolic in her vegetable garden, and then there's like blazer Lauren that's gonna go make her documentaries and change the world. Those are the two people that live within me. And a lot of really nice like linen pieces. A lot of things are mix and match as well, and I feel like tying in like Mate, Whimsy, Everlane, those three things make up the bulk of my closet, and I feel like they all mix and match and tie together so perfectly, and they're all totally worth the investment. Again, these pieces are going to be a bit more pricier than just going and getting a t-shirt from some random store down the street, but you're paying for high quality of the product, the materials that make up the product, the labor costs of the product. So I think it's definitely worth it and worth the investment for those pieces. Another quick thing outside of just like direct clothing that I wanted to touch on are kind of accessories. I did briefly mention Aloha's at the beginning. It's a Spanish brand. They do have clothing, but I have a few pairs of their shoes that I think are just like fun shoes, and they're only made to order, so they're not mass producing these items. High quality. If I had more space, I would get so many of like their boots. I just think their stuff is so cute. I have like a little wish list going on, but I don't dress up enough to validate me buying more shoes. But I think their stuff is so amazing and super high quality from the 2 pairs that I do have. In terms of accessories, investing in high quality products, and again, these are going to cost more than getting like what's considered costume jewelry and like gold plated jewelry and stuff like that. They're going to last. They're not going to tarnish, they're not going to turn you green. So if you invest in high quality jewelry and accessories, I think that is also really important, because it's not stuff that's going to just like break and you throw in the trash and all of a sudden this like piece of plated whatever is there. If there are some pieces that you do want are a bit more costumey, just kind of really thinking about how much use you're going to get out of it. I think also focusing on timeless jewelry pieces versus leaning into the trends is super important. Like all of a sudden right now, silver is back and big bulky things are back. But if that's not you, or if you do want to get like a little piece of it to kind of go with the trends, sure. But if that's just like not who you are, don't buy into it, which I feel like is just kind of like a general slow fashion thing. Like if trend isn't for you, don't buy into it just because it's trending, because then you won't wear it, you won't get your money's worth. When it comes to jewelry, like I love Mayuri, Ring Concierge, and again, price your items, but a higher quality and are going to last. And if I do ever decide to get rid of them, they're gonna hold up their value more than something that I got for super cheap that isn't really worth it at the end of the day. If you are going to be spending money, making sure that you're buying actual stuff that's going to retain its value. And then lastly, with accessories, I think just leather goods are another really good investment. It's things that fit your personality, aren't super like trendy. Like there are some like designer items that I think are super trendy, or it's not as wearable to wear every single day. But I think if you invest in things that are like classic, timeless, will retain their value, which I think is super important. So if I ever decide I am over this bag, I can get rid of it and it's going to retain its value. Not get rid of it, that sounds aggressive. I could sell it and it would retain its value, because these are artisan made, high quality products. Like it's such high quality leather. You know that somebody spent the time crafting this piece, so they are going to be a bit more expensive, but they are worth it in the craftsmanship, which I just think is something that's so beautiful. The materials that are used, they are also like very, very durable versus, and this kind of goes with everything, buying a dupe or something and maybe it's made out of pleather because it's cheaper. I bought a pleather bag once when I went to Europe 7 years ago, and it left a black mark. The stuff came off of it and all my clothes had a black mark on it, so I got rid of it, and it was a $40 bag, which for me I was like, ooh, $40, but it like left a mark all over. I bought my first like designer bag. It was a Ted Baker, which I've since sold because it was just like a bit too heavy for me, but that one held up so much more. And the other one, you spend, and this goes with clothes and jewelry too, you buy something for cheap, it falls apart or leaves a black mark over all of your clothes, and you have to replace it, and then you replace it again, and you replace it again and again and again, until all of a sudden you've spent the same amount of money that you could have spent on one super high quality item that would have lasted all of that time and then some, and would just have like looked better too. So I think if you do have the funds, investing in high quality leather accessories is something that I really appreciate. And because again, pleather is so bad. It's so bad. It's literally just, it's plastic leather. That's all it is. And if things are a bit too expensive, my first bag I actually got off of the RealReal, and it's beautiful and it is still in great condition, and all of these things too, if I could sell them one day if I ever decided to, but they're also things that if taken good care of, like I can pass along to a daughter that I may have. I better have a daughter because I want to give her a lot of stuff. I think all of this stuff is beautiful and timeless and worth the investment, and I don't feel the need to continue to replace things over and over and over again. And I think that goes from, as I mentioned, clothes, shoes, accessories, bags, whatever it is, going into these things and paying attention to just the quality, the craftsmanship, the materials, how it's made, and just all of those things I think is super important, and that's what slow fashion is. And that also kind of just can help you find your own style through this process, versus feeling that you just have to continuously follow these trends and follow like what other people are doing and putting your money into stuff that will just end up falling apart or in the landfill or just taking up space, and you're never gonna wear it because that trend is done and you don't know why you bought it. So really taking this time overall to, as I mentioned, like amazing brands, like before even shopping these brands, shopping from your closet, shopping what you already have and using what you already have and using it well and taking care of it. That way it will last, even if it is these lower quality materials. Like you can still do stuff day to day and just like launder it well to make sure that it does last and you don't feel the need to replace it. And once you get to that point of replacing it, or you do want to add stuff to your closet, really taking a step back and looking at something that'll be timeless, that'll add to your closet for years to come, versus something that will just kind of give you like that quick hit of dopamine and you'll hate in 6 months from now. So this video did start off with the idea of being like 5 slow fashion investments I made and how they're worth it. But again, I think just speaking about brands in general, because everybody's style is different, and just really taking a look at the brands that you are supporting and what you're buying and how it will last you is way more important than some specific items that I have. But if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below what slow fashion brands you love and what else you want to see here on my channel. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe. I upload a new video every other Wednesday. So until the next one, thanks for watching.